Each year, roughly 6,000 babies are born with Down syndrome, which is about 1 in every 700 that is born. My 11-month-old son is one of those 6,000. He was that 1 in every 700. Well, I never thought I would be that person to have a baby with something wrong, like everybody else. I was wrong. It can happen to anyone at any time without a moment's notice. Children born with Down syndrome do all the things other children can do. Babies born with Down syndrome are just as precious and learn to do all the things any other children can do. It just takes them a little bit longer. A lot of people feel as though children with Down syndrome are just not the same or not normal, and that they don't grow up to be successful adults and can't do most things that other people can do. For instance, my 11-month-old son with Downs is learning to do everything his older brothers did. It's just taking him a tiny bit longer to learn to do it. In addition to having Downs, if a baby is born with other health issues like breathing problems or heart issues, it makes the learning process slightly longer because they have to get more things done. 50% of all babies born with Downs most likely have congenital heart disease at birth, but not all babies have other health issues besides the Downs at birth. But my son was born with a VSD and ASD and had to get a G-tube put in due to poor feeding. He wasn't suckling the bottle at all or very well. But he is now a happy, healthy 11-month-old baby, and he had open heart surgery 3 months ago, and after that he is thriving and doing a lot more. Despite the Downs and health issues, people with Downs tend to have a good life expectancy. People with Down syndrome can live almost as long as everybody else. The average life expectancy for people with Downs used to be only 25 years old, which was at about in 1983, according to an article I read. Life expectancy now has risen for people with Down syndrome. An increase in life expectancy to 60 years old, which is greatly higher than 25, is largely due to the end of institutionalization that they used to put people with Down syndrome in for some reason, because they felt like they weren't a normal part of society. So now many of them are living into their 60s and 70s, sometimes 80s. A lot of people with Down syndrome actually learn to live independent lives. A lot of people with Down syndrome have a job and learn to drive. More of them have jobs than learn to drive, just because driving is just a bit harder. Some people with Down syndrome actually get married, and some will have children. Say the women who marry somebody without Downs tends to have children, but there's a 50-50 chance that that baby will have Downs, but it's not all the time. People with Downs often can live on their own or with a supportive roommate. There is a pretty wide spectrum for the types of independent living. They can have a roommate, they can have somebody check on them once a week or every other day, or be with them for half of the day. So they don't have to stay with their parents their whole life, and it's an option for them to start being independent. So with a lot of love and care and somebody who is willing to help along the way, anything is possible for somebody with Down syndrome. In conclusion, people with Down syndrome deserve the right to live their life and be happy and have as many other opportunities as anybody else in life. They're great people. Most of them that I've met have been fantastic and just put a smile on my face. You can't get more than that.